majority of the U.S. would not have access to American oil and natural gas. Americans would have to rely upon foreign sources, which are less available, less reliable, and much more expensive. We need energy delivered by pipelines to create products, power our homes and businesses, travel by air, land, and sea, and to drive industrial and manufacturing industries. The Dakota Access Pipeline, which stretches from North Dakota to Illinois, will carry hundreds of thousands of barrels of crude oil a day. However, some groups believe that the pipeline will destroy burial sites and sacred lands, and they also question the environmental concerns that it poses if it leaks. Today I'm going to explain to you why people are protesting the Dakota Access Pipeline, how effective and safe it is, and what kinds of benefits it will bring to our country. And contrary to popular opinion, it will be very beneficial to our country. First, I will discuss why some people are protesting the pipeline. In July, the pipeline announced its approval for construction, and shortly after that, the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation filed a lawsuit against them to halt the construction. And the tribe claims that the project leaders didn't include them in the construction process to route the pipeline, but that is untrue as the project leaders met over 500 times with Native American groups all around North Dakota and all the countries, or all of the states. And the tribe claims that it will destroy their sacred burial sites and lands, and it will jeopardize their water source. And since July, thousands of protesters have traveled to North Dakota to protest the construction of the pipeline. And tensions quickly spiked between the security guards and the protesters, and 141 people were arrested, and a lot of property of the pipeline was burned and vandalized. The tribe also questions the environmental concerns the pipeline poses as it passes under a water source. But however, environmental protection is one of the pipeline's major priorities. And since it's the pipeline is pretty safe because it's heavily regulated and checked that it meets safety standards. Next, I'm going to discuss how effective and safe the pipeline is. According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, pipelines are the safest, most efficient way to transport energy resources throughout the U.S. And as I said before, they're safe because they are heavily regulated and checked all the time. And they're monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And the U.S. Department of Transportation is responsible for ensuring the safety of the pipeline. So the pipeline meets all state and federal safety standards, and in many cases it exceeds the standards in which they're set. So it's extremely safe, and it's one of the technology used to construct the pipeline is one of the top brands out there. And the Dakota Access Pipeline is also extremely efficient. It will carry, when it's finished, it will carry more than 450,000 barrels of crude oil a day. And that's more than 19.7 million gallons of crude oil, which is enough to make 374.3 million gallons of gas. Just imagine how much that could fuel our cars and how much that would bring gas prices down. I'm going to now explain what the benefits of the pipeline will bring to our country. The Dakota Access Pipeline will increase America's energy independence. It will transport 100% domestic produced crude oil. So 1 barrel of crude oil produced here will replace 1 barrel of foreign oil. And the U.S. still imports half of its oil it consumes from foreign countries, and the pipeline will provide a critical link to close the gap between what we produce and what we consume. And to improve safety to public and environment, since the pipelines are heavily regulated and are subject to regular maintenance. The pipeline will also reduce the amount of crude oil shipped by truck and trains, so other products can take the oil's place. And also the pipeline will bring a lot of money to like the states, and so it'll bring in like local revenue. As you can see, the pipelines are a safe and efficient way to transport oil, and it will benefit our country greatly. So I urge you to support it. And the pipeline will translate into millions of dollars in state and local revenues, up to $156 million. So I urge you to raise awareness of the benefits of the pipeline by posting on social media
I'll have to
or
stop you there.
educating others. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you said it's being transported to Illinois.
Yeah, from
Okay, so would that have a great effect on us, like in the tri-state with gas prices?
like it would affect gas prices like all over, because we would have more like domestically produced oil, so we wouldn't have to pay to import oil from foreign countries. So it would affect our whole country. Patty?
So is the source coming from North Dakota? Is it the origin? Why does it end in Illinois? Why does it not go farther?
I don't know why it ends in Illinois, but it's coming from like kind of like Canada, so it goes through all of North Dakota.
Okay.
So. Okay.
What happens when the main oil vein that you're currently using runs dry?
When it runs dry? Well, I didn't see anything about how much it would get, like how much it would produce, but like it says like 450,000 of, so there's a lot of crude oil, but I imagine that they would find another source. I mean, there's plenty of sources in the U.S.
Would it cause a decrease in jobs because we'll be using the pipeline to transport gas instead of trucks?
No, it would actually create jobs because it needs people to construct the pipeline, and then after that to run the pipeline. So it would still like increase jobs after that. But like it's not going to take away the trucks and the trains. It would just have room for more like other products, like agricultural products, to be transported that way.
All right.